Hi, I'm Joe Polizzi, and this is the Content Inc. podcast. 5 minutes every Monday for content creators who desire to be content entrepreneurs. This podcast is supported by Memberful. As we're finalizing our agenda for CEX, we've had more and more requests for information on memberships. What's not to like? A great source of revenue for creators, ownership of your own data, and build truly loyal audiences. Memberful will help you do that. Get started for free today at memberful.com/contentinc. Now, I know I talked about this in my newsletter called the Orange Letter, which if you're not subscribed to, you should be. Go to joepolizzi.com and subscribe. But you know that I've been predicting a TikTok ban in the United States for a long, long time. Probably started talking about it before then President Trump was trying to get TikTok banned. And now it seems like it actually happened. And just to go through what's been going on for the last couple weeks, a week ago, the House passed a package that included a TikTok ban or sell to U.S. company ultimatum. And then just after that, on Tuesday, the Senate passed it. And on Wednesday, President Joe Biden signed it. And it looks like TikTok will have about a year to sell to a U.S. company or face an all-out ban. Now, there will be lawsuits and story upon story, but I believe ByteDance, which is the owner of TikTok, will ultimately be sold. TikTok is the most powerful media company in the United States and maybe the world. And the U.S. government is not going to stand by and give China that much power. Now, I do want to note, to be fair, you can make an argument that ByteDance is not owned by Chinese interests if you really go into who the investors are. But I think the U.S. government thinks otherwise, and I do as well. Now, I've had the opportunity to chat with a number of TikTok users over the past few weeks of all ages, not just older folks like me. Everyone seems to know what's going on, but they believe the issue is about privacy. Now, whatever you see in the news, this is not about privacy. It's about national security and information flow. According to various stats that I found on Sprout Social, TikTok right now has 148 million unique users in the United States. It's also perhaps the most persuasive of all media and social media outlets. And here's the deal. The owner of TikTok has the power to shift sentiment with ease, whatever they want to do. If they want more positive stories about Taylor Swift, easy, no problem. If you want to see more stupid cat tricks, that's done. How about a long-term campaign influencing kids not to believe in democracy? That's probable, right? How about negative perceptions of Taiwan outside of China? Assuredly. Now, multiple research groups have found that TikTok is also eerily silent on quite a few issues. Now, there's a great chart that the New York Times put together from all this research, and they basically looked at per 100 posts on Instagram, how much are you seeing this on TikTok? So, for example, per 100 posts on Instagram, you're seeing 0.6% on Hong Kong protests on TikTok. Per 100 posts on Instagram regarding Tiananmen Square, you're seeing 1 on TikTok. For every 100 Instagram posts with Taiwan-related hashtags on Instagram, there's only 7 on TikTok. So obviously, there's something in the algorithm that's saying, hey, anything sensitive to Chinese interests, please do not show it on TikTok. Now, I'm not a fan of conspiracy theories, and I don't want to fan that flame, but I do believe that our core media properties should be owned by U.S. companies in the United States. TikTok is not. That and the fact that TikTok tends to push kids towards harmful content, which is a huge, huge problem. By the way, so does Instagram, a U.S.-owned company. For the most part, I've always been against any kind of government intervention when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I am absolutely for this bill, like I'm for Florida's move to ban social media for children under 16. I'm really curious to see what happens if ultimately there is a forced sale. The problem is there's only a small handful of companies, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, among others, that could actually afford the tens of billions of dollars it's going to take to buy TikTok. Now, ultimately, for you as a content creator, as a content entrepreneur, if you create content on TikTok, or let's say you're addicted to the platform like some of my friends are, you'll probably never know the difference if or when something happens. That's my prediction. I don't think you necessarily need to do anything. Now, I do believe you need a plan B, but I think you need a plan B if you're on anything social media. If you're on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, you should always have a plan B so where you can control the distribution a little bit better and have some kind of addressable audience. So get your plan B in order. But long story short with this whole thing and this whole little rant that I'm on, nobody will probably ever know that anything is going to happen. But I'm glad it's happening. I think this needs to happen. I think if NBC, ABC, and CBS News was owned by a foreign entity, we'd all be up in arms. Well, TikTok is all three of those combined times 10 plus steroids. And I think something needs to be done. I'm glad something is being done. And let's hope we see this all come to fruition in less than a year. Until then, I'm getting ready for Content Entrepreneur Expo, May 5th through 7th. There's still some tickets available. You can get them at cex.events. I would love to see you there in person. I'm really looking forward to it. To see 400 of my friends and subscribers and people that I haven't seen in a long time. And we can all get together as content entrepreneurs, learn together, network together, and figure out how this business model works for all of us. Until then, I'll speak to you next Monday.